The scanner hummed its usual three-tone melody, a sound I'd heard approximately 9,000 times during my tenure at Galactic Processing Station Theta-7. My name is Vorgath, Senior Classification Officer, and I had seen everything, or so I thought. The device was elegant in its simplicity. Point it at any sentient being, wait for the pleasant chime, and receive a neat categorical breakdown of their species' combat potential. Strength index, threat assessment, recommended containment protocols. Simple, efficient, boring. Next, I called out, not bothering to look up from my datapad. The creature that shuffled forward was unremarkable, bipedal, average height, soft-looking skin without any natural armor plating. No visible claws, fangs, or toxin sacs. I stifled a yawn. Species designation? I asked, finally glancing up. Human, it said. Male, judging by the vocal resonance. He wore some kind of primitive fabric covering and had an oddly relaxed posture for someone going through intergalactic customs. The scanner hummed its usual three-tone melody, a sound I'd heard approximately 9,000 times during my tenure at Galactic Processing Station Theta-7. My name is Vorgath, Senior Classification Officer, and I had seen everything. Or so I thought. Right? Human. Never heard of you. I aimed the scanner at his chest. This'll just take a second, and then you can proceed to Gate 17 for your connecting transport to the outer colonies. The scanner's light swept across him. Blue, then yellow, then orange, then red. My secondary heart skipped a beat. Red was unusual. Red meant dangerous. Red meant the Krillian berserkers, the ones who could tear through reinforced titanium with their bare hands. Red meant the Thoraxian hive soldiers, each one capable of producing enough bioacid to melt a small frigate. But this soft pink thing? The scanner began vibrating. Not the gentle buzz of standard operation. This was violent, angry. The display flickered, and text began scrolling across the screen faster than I could read it. Strength indexes climbed into ranges I didn't know existed. The scanner hummed its usual three-tone melody, a sound I'd heard approximately 9,000 times during my tenure at Galactic Processing Station Theta-7. My name is Vorgath, Senior Classification Officer, and I had seen everything. Or so I thought. Right? Human. Never heard of you. I aimed the scanner at his chest. This'll just take a second, and then you can proceed to Gate 17 for your connecting transport to the outer colonies. The scanner's light swept across him. Blue, then yellow, then orange. Threat assessments multiplied. The recommended containment protocol section simply read, inadequate, inadequate, inadequate. Then, in letters that seemed to burn themselves into the screen, do not classify. I said, which was not my most articulate moment. The human, who had introduced himself as Marcus Webb, leaned forward with what I would later learn was a smile. Problem? The scanner's malfunctioning, I said quickly, smacking it against my palm. A tried-and-true repair technique across all known civilizations. Let me just recalibrate, and the device let out a sound I can only describe as a mechanical scream, then went completely dark. Smoke curled from its ventilation ports. That's never happened before, I muttered. My supervisor, Klaxon, loomed over my shoulder. All 7 feet of his gelatinous mass quivered with what I recognized as concern. What's the delay, Vorgath? Scanner failure, sir. I was processing this hum. Let me see. Klaxon extended a pseudopod toward his personal scanner, the newer model. The expensive one. He pointed it at Marcus. Same result. Blue to yellow to orange to red to. Well, to dead. The second scanner literally exploded. Just a small explosion, mind you, but enough to leave Klaxon's gelatinous surface singed and bubbling. Marcus raised his hands in a placating gesture. Hey, I don't know what's happening either. I'm just trying to get to my mining job on Kepler Station. The scanner hummed its usual three-tone melody, a sound I'd heard approximately 9,000 times during my tenure at Galactic Processing Station Theta-7. My name is Vorgath, Senior Classification Officer, and I had seen everything. Or so I thought. Right? Human. Never heard of you. I aimed the scanner at his chest. This'll just take a second, and then you can proceed to Gate 17 for your connecting transport to the outer colonies. The scanner's light swept across him. Blue, then yellow, then orange. Mining, I repeated flatly. Yeah, Asteroid mining. Good pay, decent benefits, and the company provides housing. He shrugged those strange, bony shoulders. It's honest work. Klaxon had gone from his normal translucent green to a pale, frightened yellow. Vorgath. Protocol 7. My blood ran cold. All 3 streams of it. Protocol 7 meant contacting the Galactic Council. Immediately. Sir, that seems extreme. He says he's just a miner. And the scanner, Klaxon interrupted, his voice dropping to a terrified whisper, said do not classify. Do you understand what that means? I didn't. Not really. In 12 years of service, I'd never seen those words. 20 minutes later, we had Marcus sitting in containment room 4. Not locked in, mind you. The door was open. We'd offered him refreshments. He'd accepted something called coffee from his personal supply, and the smell alone made my respiratory slits close in self-defense. Council Representative Thexala arrived via emergency transport, her insectoid features clicking with agitation. She took one look at Marcus through the observation window, and her compound eyes went wide. That's a human? She asked. Apparently. Do you know what they are? A miner? She turned to me, and I saw something I'd never seen in a council representative before. Genuine fear. 3 cycles ago, we received reports from the frontier stations. A freighter was attacked by Vex raiders. 30 of them. Military-grade augmentations. Plasma weaponry. They boarded a passenger vessel carrying 200 civilians. I waited. There was one human on that vessel. A teacher. Female. Elderly by their standards. And she killed all 30 raiders. With a fire extinguisher. I laughed. I couldn't help it. That's impossible. The Vex raiders are. I've seen the security footage, Vorgath. Thexala's mandibles clacked together nervously. When the human was injured, when her students were threatened, something changed. The footage analysis shows her moving faster than our cameras could properly track. The strength readings were off the scale. She bent a support beam into a pretzel and used it too. She trailed off, looking back at Marcus, who was now casually scrolling through his communication device, completely at ease. Were they? I whispered. Thexala's answer came in a tone I'd never heard from a council representative. Hushed reverence mixed with absolute terror. We don't know. And that's what scares us. Marcus looked up from his device and waved through the observation window. Actually waved. Like we were old friends meeting for lunch. So what do we do? I asked, my vocal sac constricting. Detain him? Deport him? Call the military? The council's official position, Thexala said slowly, is that we politely process his travel documents and let him go about his business. I blinked. All 4 eyes. That's it? That's the plan? Vorgath, 6 months ago, a human physician working in the Andromeda Medical Complex was caught in a station decompression event. She was exposed to vacuum for 47 seconds while she manually sealed a hull breach. Do you know what happened to her? She died? Thexala's answer came in a tone I'd never heard from a council representative. Hushed reverence mixed with absolute terror. We don't know. And that's what scares us. She got frostbite on her fingers. Frostbite. She complained about it for a week. The crystalloid doctors couldn't believe she was alive, let alone complaining about minor tissue damage. My brain was struggling to process this. But they look so fragile. That's what everyone thinks. Thexala pulled up a holographic file. Look at this. Humans have this thing called adrenaline. It's a chemical their bodies produce under stress. It temporarily grants them increased strength, pain resistance, and reaction times. But here's the thing, Vorgath. They don't control it. It just happens. Automatically. That sounds dangerous. It gets worse. They have this concept called persistence hunting. On their homeworld, they would chase prey animals for days. Days. Running. Until the animal literally collapsed from exhaustion. They don't have natural weapons, so they invented tools. Complex ones. Fexala's answer came in a tone I'd never heard from a council representative. Hushed reverence mixed with absolute terror. We don't know. And that's what scares us. Then they invented weapons. Then they invented warfare. Then they nearly destroyed themselves with nuclear weapons before they'd even achieved basic space flight. I felt faint. And we let them join the galactic community? We didn't have much choice. They found us. Their first faster-than-light ship was held together with what they called duct tape and prayers. It shouldn't have worked. It violated 17 different laws of physics. But it did work, because apparently the universe is terrified of telling humans no. Through the window, Marcus finished his coffee and stood up, stretching. I heard his joints make small popping sounds that made Klaxon shudder. Representative, what should I tell him? I asked. The truth. That our scanners aren't equipped to process his species. Apologize for the delay. Give him a priority boarding pass. She paused. And whatever you do, be polite. I entered the containment room, datapad clutched in my trembling appendages. Marcus smiled at me. Fexala's answer came in a tone I'd never heard from a council representative. Hushed reverence mixed with absolute terror. We don't know. And that's what scares us. Then they invented weapons. Then they invented warfare. Then they nearly destroyed themselves with nuclear weapons before they'd even achieved basic space. Those flat, white teeth suddenly seemed far more menacing than I'd initially assessed. So, he said cheerfully, are we good? Yes, absolutely. Completely good. Very good indeed. I was talking too fast. Calm down, Vorgath. I apologize for the delay, Mr. Webb. Our equipment experienced some technical difficulties. No problem. Happens to me all the time, actually. Medical scanners hate me. Set off security detectors at museums. One time, I crashed an entire airport's baggage system just by walking through. He laughed, as if this was amusing rather than absolutely horrifying. I see. Well, here's your priority boarding pass for Gate 17. Your transport departs in 40 minutes. Appreciate it. He took the pass, and our fingers touched briefly. His skin was warm. Mammalian biology, I remembered from the basic xenobiology courses. They regulated their own body temperature internally. Wasteful, inefficient, but it meant they could function in a wider range of environments than most species. Can I ask you something? The words escaped before I could stop them. Sure. Why asteroid mining? I mean, no offense, but if your species is so capable, why not something more prestigious? Marcus considered this, then shrugged again. That gesture that seemed to be their response to everything. Pays well. I like working with my hands. Plus, there's something peaceful about space. Just you, the rocks, and the endless void. It's therapeutic. You find a void therapeutic? Sure. It's honest. The universe doesn't lie to you. A rock is a rock. Vacuum is vacuum. You respect it, it respects you. Well, it doesn't kill you, which is basically the same thing. He grinned. Besides, somebody's got to do it, right? I handed him his documentation. Your mining contract is with the Kepler Corporation, correct? His skin was warm. Mammalian biology, I remembered from the basic xenobiology courses. They regulated their own body temperature internally. Wasteful, inefficient, but it meant they could function in a wider range of environments than most species. Can I ask you something? The words escaped before I could stop them. Yep. 18-month rotation. Then, I'm headed home to visit my daughter. She's starting university. Wants to be a xenobiologist, actually. Study alien life. The idea of humans studying US suddenly seemed very appropriate. That's wonderful. I hope she succeeds. She will. She's persistent. Gets it from her mother. There was warmth in his voice. Affection. These creatures felt emotions, formed bonds, loved their offspring. They were people. Terrifying, physics-defying, scanner-breaking people, but people nonetheless. Marcus gathered his belongings, a simple bag slung over one shoulder. Thanks for your help, Vorgath. Sorry about your equipment. Not your fault, I said, though it absolutely was. He paused at the door. Hey, quick question. Why did your scanner freak out like that? I could have lied. Should have lied. But something about those strange, forward-facing predator eyes made me tell the truth. It tried to classify you as a threat. But your species doesn't fit any known category. You're not the strongest, not the fastest, not the most intelligent. But somehow, you're more dangerous than anything we've ever encountered. The scanner couldn't process that paradox, so it just gave up. Marcus processed this information, then laughed. Actually laughed. Yeah, that sounds about right. We're pretty good at breaking things that shouldn't be breakable. It's kind of our specialty. He left, whistling some tuneless human melody, just another traveler passing through the station. Fexala joined me at the window, watching him disappear into the crowd of various species moving through the terminal. You know what the scariest part is? She asked. What? He's average. Just a regular human. Not a soldier. Not a scientist. Not anyone special. Just an ordinary miner going to an ordinary job. I watched Marcus Webb blend into the stream of galactic citizens, indistinguishable now, unremarkable. And I understood exactly what she meant. If that was average, what were their exceptional ones capable of? The scanner's final message glowed in my memory. Do not classify. Perhaps some things were better left unmeasured. Some forces better left uncategorized. Some species better treated as friends. Because I really, truly did not want to find out what humanity looked like as enemies. Marcus disappeared around a corner, and I returned to my station, already dreading the next time those 3 words appeared on my screen. The universe, I decided, had a very disturbing sense of humor. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.